Hey Titans, it's Lynette here. Thank you for joining the virtual hut today. We'll be discussing the cold and flu. It is just so crucial to talk about it during this time because we want to stay well, we want to get well, just so we can be our best selves for the academic school year. So let's get started. All right, so let's start off with a question. So my question to you is, how many Cal State Fullerton students do you think reported that the cold and flu actually impacts their academic performance? Yeah, so 1 in 6 or 17.2% of CSUF students did report that the cold and flu impacts their academic performance. So this can sound like a lot, but how do we even get cold and flu viruses entering our systems? So that's my next question to you. What 3 ways do you think it enters our body? Yeah, so the 3 routes that the viruses can enter our bodies are through our eyes, our nose, and our mouth. So now that we know that, let's try to talk about some ways that we can prevent the spread of infection and contamination. Let's name some ways that we can do this. Awesome, thank you again for answering. So a few ways that we can prevent infection and contamination is by washing our hands for 20 seconds with warm water and with soap. Another way you can measure this is by singing happy birthday twice. If you like to sing, this is perfect for you. Another way that we can do this is just avoid hand-to-face contact. So like we said, the 3 routes of transmission into our bodies is through our eyes, our nose, and our mouth. So by preventing ourselves from touching our face, this is some way we can prevent contamination and infection. Another thing that we can do is just covering our sneezes and our coughs with a tissue. And currently with COVID-19, a lot of us have been wearing masks and been getting used to that. So that's another way we can do that as well. Another means of protection for ourselves that can be more of a preventative measure that we can take is by getting a flu shot. So thankfully, we're very lucky that Cal State Fullerton puts on a flu clinic every single year. They're called the Flu Fighters, and we give free flu shots to our students at Cal State Fullerton. And we do this every single year in October. We'll have more information linked here, but it is free and it will protect you against the 3 most prevalent strains of the flu this season. But let's say we do end up getting sick. What do we do? What does that look like? And it's really important to note that there's differences between the cold and the flu. Could you tell me the difference? So people who may have the cold often feel some or all of these symptoms, which are runny or stuffy nose, sore throat, coughing, congestion, sneezing, and this can all last 2 to 14 days. So it could be as little as 2 days or up to 2 weeks. People who have the flu, on the other hand, often feel some or all of these symptoms being a fever over 102 degrees Fahrenheit, muscle aches, chills, sweats, headaches, and fatigue. And this can last 2 to 7 days with symptoms lingering up to 2 to 3 weeks. So that is also a possibility within that. So when we are experiencing these symptoms and we're sick, what should we do? So some things that a person can do is take cold medicine, and that can relieve symptoms like fever, sore throat, headaches, body aches, and this can be something like Tylenol. Keep in mind that antibiotics cannot help fight the cold and flu because it is a virus. This is not a bacterial infection. Another thing that we can do that will really help is just getting rest, because rest will help us recharge our immune system and help our bodies fight off illness. Another thing is drinking a lot of fluids. So drinking a lot of water, drinking warm broth. This can help loosen the mucus that is in our respiratory system. Also, just making sure that we're staying home while we're sick, and that's what a lot of us have been practicing lately. So make sure you visit the CDC for more recommendations, for those guidelines to keep yourself safe and to keep your community safe. And don't forget to get your free flu shot.